You have to be mindful of how your environment is shaping you. Therefore, you can have the awareness to dictate how you want to be shaped. Without the awareness, you're just being programmed by signals, all based on your proximity, your level of what you're able to see, what you're able to feel, what you're able to hear in society, which was manifested by somebody outside of you. Let's face it, all of us are born into an environment. We didn't create this environment before us that we exist in. So it's imperative that you are mindful of your environment and how it is shaping you. Because oftentimes you might find that you have beliefs and you have opinions and you have feelings about things, but they might not be rooted in your individuality. We start off as kids being indoctrinated by parents, teachers, society, television, telling us how to be, who to be, and why it's right to be a certain way. And we grow into adults, and then we don't even have the individuality or the actualization to realize, damn, I got these ideas because I was just born in America, let's say. Or I got these ideas because my dad taught me that this was right my whole life. Not because you actually asked yourself and formulated the opinion with reasoning that you support, but just because somebody told you so. So it's important to be mindful of just indoctrination. I say that segue into my point right now, and which ties into today's realm of how we are infatuated by celebrity lives to the point where we put our attention, our energy. And I think people must understand how important energy is and attention. It's what creates reality. You put your attention to something like money. Me and my boy was talking about this. Cryptocurrency doesn't have a physical property, but it's still worth something. Why? Because you have eyes fixated on it. The attention is there. Therefore, it is a reality, even though it has no physical properties. Money has a physical property, but no backing. So what is it being supported by? Our attention. We take the attention from certain constructs, and then they start to dwindle and no longer exist. So you really have to be mindful of what you're paying attention to. Paying. That's why they call it paying attention. You feel me? You have to spend something. You know what I'm saying? So, my message is just prevalent to today and how we are giving our attention to gossip, to low level dialogue. Most people are not looking at a way to where this can provoke wellness or any celebrity issue. They're not looking at the grand scheme of things. It's usually just a bickering back and forth about who's right and who's wrong. And then now you got citizens, proletarians, I should use aptly for this video, arguing back and forth, dividing amongst each other who are more similar than different about people that they don't even know, people they seen on TV. Oh, you wrong about Will. He did what he's supposed to do. Oh, you wrong. You ain't no real man. He did. He ain't. Oh, Will was the all gossip. God, they say gossip is for girls. Uh gossip is for a certain frequency of information and what you're willing to accept. Gossip is like the antithesis of knowledge. It doesn't enlighten, it doesn't spark the mind. It just causes petty debate to where you more stagnation than progress after the debate. It's not a progressive debate. So that's just the realm that we exist on. And I was reading, or I am reading again, one of my favorite books ever, 1984 by George Orwell. Please go read it if you haven't. But essentially, he wrote it in 48. So this is why people say shit was always written and shit ain't never changed. He wrote about the control system and how people are being programmed in 1948, futuristically referencing 1984. But I'm looking right now in 2022, and it's directly analogous to what he wrote in 1948, which is 84. If I ain't mind fucking you niggas right now. So I'm gonna just read a quick excerpt from this shit, just to give you a backdrop. The main character works as It's called the Ministry of Truth. So he works for the media within his society, and his job is to disseminate certain information that favors the party. And oftentimes that might entail lying or falsifying history, throwing away, burning valuable information that might enlighten society on how they're being governed, while perpetuating information to keep them stupid, to keep them believing in the system, even though they don't have little to any facts about the system in hand and what they're claiming. So that's the main character's job. So they're going to go into detail as to how that job is acted out by the main character and others. So I'm going to read real quick. It says, and the records departments, which is like the media, after all, was itself only a single branch of the Ministry of Truth. So the records departments is just a part of the media, Ministry of Truth, whose primary job was not to reconstruct the past, but to supply the citizens of Oceania with newspapers, films, textbooks, telescreen, in other words, TV. So newspapers, films, textbooks, telescreen programs, plays, novels, with every conceivable kind of information, instruction, or entertainment. From a statue to a slogan, from a lyric poem to a biological treatise, and from a child's spelling book to a Newspeak dictionary. Newspeak is just a language they created to really dumb down the citizens. It's just a form of speaking that's like redundancy. But if you have all Newspeak, it kind of it makes language and makes thought more rigid. So society is more inept at thinking with something like Newspeak, which you have to read to really understand. And the ministry had not only to supply multifaceted needs of the party, so they had to supply information to the party, the niggas in on it, but also to repeat the whole operation at a lower level for the benefit of the proletarian. So not only does the main character and the records department have a job to give information to the party members, it's like, let's say, politicians, people involved in politics, and people in country clubs, and people who actually work to purvey the message of the system at higher level than the average citizen. They get different information than the masses. The proletarian is yo ass. The average 9 to 5 citizen worker struggling to make a means and is actually a part of society. You feel me? They get different information than the people involved on it. And the people controlling the whole thing actually see truth. Actually have all the information. But he's basically saying we give different information to the masses. The masses get a different variation of the dumbed down version. And he says there was a whole chain of separate departments dealing with proletarian literature, music, drama, and entertainment generally. Here are produced rubbishy newspapers containing almost nothing except sport, crime, astrology, sensational 5-cent novelettes, films oozing with sex, and sentimental songs which are composed entirely by mechanical means on a special kind of kaleidoscope known as versificator. There was even a subsection, pornosec. It was called in Newspeak, engaged in producing the lowest kind of pornography, which was sent out in sealed package which no party member other than those who worked on it was permitted to look at. So basically in 1948, he's just telling you how propaganda works, how media influence works, and how the citizens, the proletariats, go look up proletariat and see what it is. You are a proletariat. You're a part of the working class people, the 99. They get information even lesser than what the party members get. So he said, to quote, sports. What's the main thing? What's American culture, damn near, for the proletariats? Sports. Super Bowl is a national holiday. Sports. Every day. Topic of conversation. Crime. What do we see on the news consistently? Every day. Old films oozing with sex. He wrote this shit in 1948, but look at today. Please look at today and ask me if anything he's saying is applicable. And other things like pornos. We know the porn industry is blown up in the last few years and in the last decade or 2 decades. So we know that the proletarian is getting the same type of information this nigga was talking about in 1948. And I relate it to today because us 10 millions of people putting all of their attention to what Will Smith did last night at the Grammys, in regards to Jada Pinkett and Chris Rock. That even though we saw it, it was public knowledge. That's family information. That don't help us talking about who was right, who was wrong. That doesn't help benefit you or society, other than the instantaneous reaction you get from entertainment. You might get a giggle or a laugh, or it might make you even feel better to talk about somebody else. You might not look inward into your own struggles, and it might feel better for you to talk about what somebody else is doing wrong, even if that is a nigga who made classic movie after classic movie and gave art to everybody to love. Even if the other guy is a fucking comedian who put out art in his universe that can help people. So, like, we chastise and ridicule, nobody's better than anyone. But, shit, some of y'all might want to be in Will Smith's circumstance, but y'all talking shit about him. Talking down on what he should do as if y'all niggas is brothers and you've seen his whole lifestyle and you know his mind state to know what he should be doing. What Chris Rock should be doing. You don't know shit but what you should be doing. So your primary focus probably should be on what you should be doing. I'm my hardest critic. I ain't nobody else fucking critic. I might have an opinion. I might have a judgment. I don't hold people to negative judgments. I judge, okay, if you a cool nigga, that's a judgment. If you a smoker, that's a judgment. If you a thief, that's a judgment I make. I make judgments. I'm a logical nigga. I don't hold niggas to it, and I'm definitely not going to criticize them for their call. Nigga asks for my opinion, I might give it to him, but at the end of the day, it's their call. It's not really my business. How did we get into the business of worrying about other people's business? And just reading this paragraph and seeing how propaganda works, indoctrination works, this has been going on ever since they made, ever since they made language. Ever since language was created, a message was propagated by a small few to convince a large few of reality. Like, a lot of this, like what you see might be real, but how we conceive it and how we were taught as to what a tree is, the components, the dynamics, what color it is, that's constructed reality. So, all of reality is through doctrines, through media, through the power of word, speaking, through the power of TV, through the power of social media. So if you're not aware at the fact that you getting programmed by a machine every fucking day, then at some point you gonna be the machine. Your opinion gonna sound just like what I heard on ESPN. Or your opinion gonna sound just like what I heard on ABC 7. Or your opinion gonna sound like every other nigga's opinion on Facebook. There's no individuality because there's no critical thought process in being indoctrinated. Being educated allows people to critically think. If you educate a subject, you're going to trigger their brain to where they have to critically think. They have to problem solve from themselves. Indoctrination is memorization. So if you remember what's cool, what's good for you, what's the right thing to do, what's the wrong thing to do, you can participate in this petty gossip without ever having to educate yourself. It's, oh man, Will Smith slapped that nigga, real nigga. Based on, because you from the hood and based on your doctrines of just how to be and disrespect, whatever matrix you live in, you going to project your vibration after you see it. And it's going to be more reflective of your environment than you. If you haven't been privileged to find true education. True education might hurt. Indoctrination don't really hurt like that. You're getting programmed. Just absorb information. Education requires wrongness. It requires reality checks. It requires growth. It requires wanting to grow. That's why a lot of people are scared of being aware that they being programmed. Ask people right now if they being programmed, see what they say. Only a stupid nigga will tell you they ain't been programmed. And I hope you don't take a negative connotation to stupid unless it helps you. If it helps you for me to call you stupid, I hope you do take it negatively. But I don't mean that you're a bad person or a worse off person if you're stupid. I'm just saying a stupid thing to do is to believe you haven't been programmed in a world full of signals. So for somebody to vehemently claim, oh, I ain't been programmed, nigga, do you breathe? Because it don't have to be TV or something you read, but you have signals around you at all. Right now, I'm in a car in Nevada. There's a level of signaling that comes with this environment that's shaping me right now. The air I'm breathing is different from the air in which I breathe if I step outside or if I go to the other side of the spectrum. So you talk about signaling, it's not just reduced to literature and words. Those are just the stronger signals that hit us centrally, consciously. Unconsciously, signals is all around. So for a nigga to claim that they haven't been programmed, that's just a nigga who is currently stupid. They have the potential to probably be brilliant, but they've been dumbed down to the level in which George Orwell speaks of with the proletarian. Stupidity. And these are the same people who are firm believers. These are the same people who can't believe opposite opinions. These are the same people who don't embrace the beauty of being wrong, man. Go get it. Barnes and Nobles, Amazon, in stores now, hard copy, paperback. But, I'm not convincing you niggas. It's for you to open your mind. If you are willing to open your mind, this will be something you come across in life. Just, it is what it is. If you had the privilege to see me exude my energy and this comes across your reality, you'll get it. But those who stuck on stupid, those who think they right, those who are at the front lines right now and telling people who's right about the Will shit and Jay, those same niggas who's in the front line with Dwayne Wade life. Same niggas who's in the front line with Booth. Don't y'all notice? Every time a current event pop up, the same niggas is on the front line projecting their ignorance. They think it's knowledge, but your knowledge is really indicative of your ignorance. Ignorance is much more vast than a nigga's knowledge. A nigga's knowledge is compartmentalized to what they've been through. Their ignorance is compartmentalized of everything they ain't been through, which is way more than what they've been through. So it's these niggas. And we all do it at times. It ain't just specific niggas. I might fall whim to the low vibration dialogue, the chatter, the thinking I'm right about some shit. But I gotta be aware of how I'm being programmed, of how I'm being shaped. And oftentimes it might come from my environment more so than me. So with that awareness, I can denounce the environmental factors to a degree to where I can formulate my own opinion. And when it comes to this will shit, what's my opinion? My opinion is, as a collective of people, we fucking talk about this shit too much. I wish Will well, I wish Chris well, I wish Jada well, I wish whoever involved in that situation well. But I don't have the luxury or the time to really give a fuck. I don't have the time to really give a fuck outside for putting a general message to it as to we need to put our attention towards things that help us, towards things that help you. Surely your circumstance, whoever you are, it ain't perfect. So to you dedicate hours and hours of another nigga's life, that's going to take away from the hours in which you could be putting into your life. And then another thing, like when I said how the main character falsifies information, puts out to the media, puts out entertainment. So they tailor make it a certain way. They dress it to where it favors whatever agenda they have going. I'd be a liar if I told you exactly what agenda the people creating the media have, but they do have an agenda. This propaganda ain't for naught. Nigga don't just, let's make the people happy and entertain them all day. No, we might entertain these niggas all day, but there might be an agenda behind entertaining you niggas all day, making you niggas talk about shit like this all day. Maybe you won't never know that people are being motherfucking child labored for cobalt, mining, big corporations. Maybe you'll never be aware of what's going. People are still enslaved, literally, in this world. Capitalism exploitation is 90% of the population is still vastly exploited. Maybe that could be their agenda. Maybe. But you do know an agenda is in place. So when you watch something on TV, the first thing you gotta ask, is this shit real? That's the first thing. So that's my second point, which is the first thing you should ask, though. For one, I don't give a fuck about the situation in its entirety, aside from what we can gain from it. But for two, when you watch something as a proletarian, as a person of the people, not in charge of putting out the information, you have to ask yourself if that is even real. I cannot say that what I saw on that TV between Will and Chris Rock and them was a real thing. I cannot say that. Niggas do skits all the time. I've seen motherfuckers come to me. You want to do a prank? I'm like, do I want to do a prank? Nigga, ain't you supposed to prank me? Ain't that how pranks go? Oh no, it's for YouTube. It's for dress up. So we're gonna act like I'm prank. I said, hell no, nigga. I didn't say it that aggressively. We in a quantum realm. I don't want to lower his vibe. I was like, nah, I'm good. But in my mind, I'm like, hell no, nigga. Why? Cause I don't want to be a part of that illusionary realm to where we create fake shit and we pass it off as real. That's exactly what the media do. So in watching that shit, am I certain that that was real? Hell no. I used to be certain when Stone Cold stunnered niggas that that was real. At my level of intellect, at my level of light. But then I've come to a new form of knowledge to realize, okay, that shit was fake. So when he do Sweet Chin, it's still real though. And that's the dichotomy. When Shawn Michaels Sweet Chin music, a nigga, his foot still hit his face. He just pulled the punch a little bit because he didn't really want to hurt him. So that's where it's the fake, the illusionary part. But what you saw was real, so people are convinced. Like, oh, I saw it, so it is. It's real to a degree, but that don't mean it ain't dressed up for a certain intent. So Shawn Michaels could get the belt, or so maybe Chris Rock could sell some shit, or maybe Will Smith, he got a show out. Maybe this helps catapult whatever endeavors they have going. Maybe this helps the Oscars or whatever it was, Grammys, I don't even know what it was. But maybe it helps the ratings for that. There's all type of things that could have been beneficial from that action. You just have to be mindful that when you watch something on TV, that it might not be genuine. It might be disingenuous. It could be real. I'm not saying either or. So don't nobody jump on here. Oh damn! Thank you, Damien. I think it's fake too. I don't care what you think. What I think don't matter. The truth is what matters. The truth is you saw something on TV. If you think you know the truth from TV, then that's the level you at. If you think that TV is just another signal in your life that can formulate your opinion, then that's the level you think at. You feel me? It's all about what level you on. I'm just offering perspective. And then from my perspective, when I watch something on TV or YouTube or whatever, I know that I don't know whether or not the shit was dressed up, whether or not somebody was acting. All I can use is my innateness. My feelings. Oh man, I feel like that nigga was keeping it real. That's all I can use when I see some shit on TV. And that's how I might gauge, like, all right, DMX, when he get on camera, that's still DMX. He's who he is. When I see Nipsey Hussle, that nigga is who he is. He seems like a real dude. Some people, from my opinion, don't operate in that spectrum of acting and faking the funk. You know what I'm saying? But in this world, you can never know when a nigga's on the tube. You don't even know when the nigga next to you is faking. You don't even know all the time when a nigga next to you is faking, let alone the fucking TV. So with that being said, man, that's my thoughts and my comments on this endeavor. You know what I'm saying? Sorry I didn't give y'all who I agree with. I don't know if it's real for one. And then my opinion on who's right and who's wrong, it don't matter. What matters is how they had to go through that. That's their business. That's their problems. That's what matters. It don't matter what I think about it. No matter what you think about how important you think your opinion is, it don't matter. That's another thing. Like niggas, niggas think their opinion matter. Like I don't think my opinion matter. Real shit. I just give it because I feel as if it can help people in this external world. And from experience, it has helped people in this external world. People have told me. People have come back. So it's like, okay, I could help. I think that pertains to my purpose when I do speak out like this. When I do give videos and rant and talk my shit. But just because I think something, just because I have an opinion, that don't mean my shit is the valuable as shit. I'll say the only time when opinions are have value is when you see the reasoning on the surface, and then the reasoning is so strong that that opinion makes into common knowledge and common sense. So it don't matter who's saying it; it matters what's being said. But my opinion on what niggas is doing with their life and that whole shit, that shit don't matter. It don't matter none. Not enough to give it to y'all. It's not gonna feed y'all. But with that being said, it's your boy Dame, and I've been talking for too long. 26 minutes. Go get The Beauty of Being Wrong by me. Nobody knows my pseudonym. Go get 1984 too, man, because you look at today and you're going to be able to draw analogies from some shit 60, 70 years ago. So, and then you have to ask, like, you think this shit is new? You think what's going on is new? Or the control system been a control system before you was born, before your peoples was born, before they peoples was born. Somebody always makes a construct for others to live in. So just be mindful of that. Be mindful of how you're being programmed. Be mindful that you have the power to shape how you're programmed. And just be mindful, period. It's your boy Dame, man. Peace.